Welcome everyone. Happy New Year to all. Apology, this party is more laid back this year. We couldn't afford a bigger one in the budget. But that doesn't mean we still can't have a smaller get together, right? Grab a snack, or a drink, let's get talking. First thing on our list is to go over my New Year's resolutions from last year and see if I managed to accomplish any of them. First one on the list was a full hour of content, and unfortunately I came up a bit short. A massive chunk of that was taken up by the first episode of CTL, but I wasn't able to squeeze out the last 5 or so minutes I think I needed. Unfortunate, but hey, I got close. That's a passing grade, I'm pretty sure. Second one was getting one video out every 4 months, and that I accomplished very easily. Whether that extra time actually led to an improved product at the end is still up for debate, but the extra free time between projects was very nice. Except near the end though, I was cranking those out really damn fast. And the final resolution was to make some progress on my big personal project. And I technically did that. I'll mention which projects when we get to them, but I'm still keeping it all hush-hush. Just know, I technically did. So, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Next, I want to talk about some of the projects that I did do this year. Not all of them, just the ones I think I have something interesting to say about them. We'll start this section with the community projects I did, which, out of the 2 of them, I think the Chasm's Call one is probably the worst. Not exactly a high bar to clear, there are only 2 of them, but you get what I mean. I have no idea why, but I just bounced off the project really hard. I knew what I wanted for it. Wanted big creature in the background, character in the front, but everything else beyond that just had my brain turned to mush. I just could not get an idea to work on. Brain's just nothing. It's fucking me up here as well. I can't even formulate a proper sentence to talk about it. I don't know, my heart just wasn't really in it. Which is weird, because I was happy I got to remake that big behemoth in the background. Because that was a sketch of a monster I made back in like 2017, I think? A while ago, before I even went to college. I'll put the sketch on screen now, it's pretty old. Then when I started college, the first big project we did was we had to make a castle. So I brought the behemoth back and put the castle on its back. That's why it's like that in the animation. I tried to recreate the old 3ds Max file as best I could. I always wanted to animate the old model, but once I lost access to 3ds Max, I couldn't do it anymore. That, and he was made up of shapes and not a actual full single model. But yeah, I was excited to remake it, and then I just kinda flopped on some parts of it. Like the trees on his back, the leaves are just a flat plane with no real depth or anything. They're just 3 planes layered on top of each other with some transparency. They don't have any proper way to bend either. It's not like subdivided or anything. There's a reason most of the project is obscured with fog. Now the Rampage Rally community project, I fucked with that one heavily. I immediately knew what I wanted to do with it from start to finish. Cave, minecart, minimal lighting, boom go the dynamite. I had that shit on lock. Now if you were paying attention between the 2 animations, you probably noticed there was a familiar figure there. He's shown up a few times in some of my animations. This is the main character of the story I'm working on, and that is as much as I'm willing to tell you about him, but I can still talk about the models. This one here is used for the Chasm's Call, and this one is used for the Rampage Rally. As you can see, the Chasm's Call one has no face. This is using a fun little technique I like to call, don't see it, don't gotta model it. Now, the Rampage Rally one is special, because this was the first time I've tried to build a head with shape keys in mind. Essentially building it so I can do expressions. Followed an online tutorial that built a more anime looking head, and I tweaked it to try to match it how I wanted it to be. Don't really know if it came out very well, but I was happy with how it turned out at the time, and I'm still pretty proud of what I was able to do with it. So even though you can't really see it all that well, he can actually emote. Show the class what you can do. Beautiful, ain't he, folks? His project is still a long way away before I can actually do anything official with it. and he's probably got to go through a few more iterations before I can properly say he's done. But for a first time modeling like that, I think it came out really well. Next up is clearing the log. That was a very fun change of pace. That one allowed me to really focus on editing in DaVinci Resolve and getting fun with it. Learned a lot about how DaVinci does its keyframes, which is very different from Blender, so I was kind of fighting it every now and then, but eventually a peace treaty was signed and we were able to work in relative peace together. Still watching that motherfucker though, I don't trust him. Dude crashed on me a few times and nearly took the whole project with him, so, that though was a good learning experience. That's kind of what all these projects are, slowly building up to something bigger and better. Definitely hoping to do more like it, and not just clearing the log, but just other long-form videos, like game reviews. I'd like to do that. Many opinions must tell. Next project was Simple House Episode 2. That was another fun one. Still can't talk much about it, saving that for the series is over, but I can give you a little insight on something fun that happened while I was working on it. The animation itself can kind of be split into 5 separate parts. The opening, hallway, acts, chase, and the ending. Parts A, B, C, D, and E. While working on part D, the models and keyframes for some reason started glitching out, and they weren't remembering, or they were weirdly getting moved. Blender was just having a fit. Still not entirely sure what happened, but closing it and opening it again seemed to fix it, so I kept working. Fast forward a week, and I'm done. I set up the render, I make the folders, and I let it go. And as I'm sitting there watching it, I learn that for some reason, parts A and B have had a majority of their keyframes deleted. Not all of them, luckily. There's still a skeleton of motion, but it was going much faster in some places, barely moving at all in others, jumping way ahead before the camera's ready. Overall, a complete disaster. So right at the finish line, I had to go back and redo those parts. Fun! Speaking of fuck-ups, this isn't really project-based, but just a fun little scare I had to deal with back in November, as for some reason, my hard drive on my computer just died. Completely died. Could not get my computer up and running again. I've been having a feeling that something like this was gonna happen, because it had been running really slowly whenever I would boot it up, and kept trying to repair itself, and then just getting stuck in a repair loop. But I had hoped that I might have been able to take it somewhere and get it fixed. And then I came home after work one day to find out that it had brought up a brand new error message I had never seen before, saying that the hard drive had failed. It wanted me to try to boot into a recovery mode to try to fix it, but every time I would do that, it would just load forever. So, yeah, that was kind of the end of that. I lost some files. Luckily, none of my project files. I keep those on a external hard drive, specifically for situations like this. But there were still some pretty heavy losses. A lot of my Minecraft worlds that I had were gone. My Terraria save files were gone. Some of my older, drawings and stuff, those are gone, which is really sad to me. I'm just thinking about it. I think I lost the cave crawler animation. That was the first thing I ever did in 3ds Max. And I was really proud of that one too. That fucking sucks. Luckily some other things I'd managed to save because my computer was acting so slow. But still lost a decent amount of stuff there. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for an early Christmas present. I am being super fucking careful with this current PC, and no issues at the moment, so we're back to the animation grind. Let's hope that doesn't change. Quick little roundup of fun video game things that happened during 2025. Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 came out back in June. That was pretty fun. I actually recorded myself playing through both of those chapters with plans to do a full video on them. But now I might just hold off on that until I have some actual interesting points to make, instead of just regurgitating what the internet said. Could make a funny highlight reel of it, but I don't know how many people would want to see that. And that's 5 hours of footage that I'd have to sift through, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to do that yet or not. Plus the time for the Deltarune stuff is kind of past. We're waiting for Chapter 5 now, and that should be coming soon. so maybe I'll do something there. I do still need to get the Shadow Crystal in Chapter 3 though, so maybe I'll record myself trying to do that, because that's some bullshit. There are probably some other big gaming thing that I probably care about, but who the fuck cares about that? Because in September we got Skong, baby! Woo! Yes! I have been waiting for that for like years. Ever since I heard about it, that we were gonna get, no, it's not just DLC for Hollow Knight, it's a full fucking game. I was chomping at the fucking bits, dude. I got to play the demo at E3, and I thought for a minute there, legit, that was gonna be the only fucking time anyone would get to play it. And we kept getting fucking teased about it at different gaming events, and like, it kinda became a joke. We were all slowly going mad, and it just kinda became funny to be Skong when, Skong when, Skong when, Skong fucking now! Even at the time of recording this, literally like an hour or so ago, we got the fucking teaser thing for the DLC, what is it, like Seas of Sorrow? I don't know. I'm fucking excited either way. I am going to do a review of this game. I have many fucking things to say about it. I was gonna do a Game Awards joke that it didn't like win a whole lot of awards, but fuck it, dude. I don't got the heart. I'm just so fucking excited. Okay. Deep breath. Focus. What's coming next? There isn't going to be as much as 2025 had. I already know that much. But that's because I want to really focus in on a different type of project. 2025 was mainly animation projects with one video project, clearing the log. 2026, I want to do the inverse. I want to mostly focus on doing video projects and maybe do the occasional animation project. If the community challenges are still going, I'll do those. Those are still really fun. As long as it's one I think I can do something for. But beyond that, I really want to do more long-form videos. I want to do another episode of Clearing the Log, for instance. There's that project that I teased back in May of last year that I still haven't done. Hopefully not gonna be 2 years by the time I finish it, but who the fuck knows. I have a lot of catching up with that project, because what I wanted to focus on is still going, so a lot of catching up to do, but that'll make script writing easier, just rereading through it. And see there, reading is the thing I gotta read. Ooh, I know it's spooky, video gamers don't read, but, you know, I do. I'm special. But now, because these are going to be longer form, that's going to require a lot more effort on my part, and not just saying, oh, I need to put effort and then get it all done in a month. I want to try to actually pace myself so I don't wind up doing it all in 1 month. So bottom line, longer form videos, and I'm not giving myself a time to reach or a deadline. I want to be able to work on this on my own pace and make it as long as I want it. If it winds up being half an hour, alright. If it winds up somehow being 2 hours, even better. But that's to be left up to fate. The only real rule is, don't vanish off the face of the earth. I still want to be here, but just be here a little less, so I can be here longer, if that makes any sense. But I don't just want to leave you empty-handed without any idea of what could be coming, so here's a brief flash of things related to the projects, completely out of context. So look forward to any of that. You know, I had an ending bit to the script here, but I think I'll just kind of talk. I'm really proud of myself for managing to stick to this as much as I did. I know it doesn't really sound like a lot, but I've had issues with focusing on projects before. So the deadlines have been helpful, but they've also been stressful. So I'm hoping I can still keep that level of commitment of just being able to focus on, I want to get this done by like this time, or just make sure it gets this amount of progress done. Yeah, it's just wild that I'm still doing this. I didn't think I'm pretty sure I could, but I wasn't sure if I'd have the drive to do it. And I did. I think I deserve that on the back for that. Just a little. But yeah. Thank you all for watching. I hope your new year goes well. I don't really have a drink here, but if you got a drink, raise it up. Here's to a good few more. Good night, everyone.